Welcome, all of you, brave souls who are here to discover your relationship to money. We are going to talk a little bit about financing your business, but thankfully, the session right before this was all about that. And so, we'll talk about it a little bit, but the most important thing here is you and your relationship to money. So my name is Becky Prater, and I teach at MSU Denver. I teach entrepreneurship. And one of my favorite things in the world to talk about is money. And it's because I had a really strange relationship to money. Thinking, do I share that now or do I wait? I think I'll wait. I'll wait, because I don't want to give anybody an idea of what theirs might be. Okay, so first, thank you for joining us at the 12th Annual Denver Startup Week. I hope you guys have enjoyed the sessions you've gone to so far. Thank you to our title sponsors, Amazon, Capital One Cafe, Dell for Startups, the Downtown Denver Business Partnership, the Denver Business Journal. This session is part of the Spotlight track, and there are one of 8 programming tracks aimed at supporting the entire entrepreneurial team. By attending this session, you're agreeing to follow our code of conduct, as well as being photographed or recorded on video. Be sure to share your experience at this session online using hashtag #DenStartupWeek or MSU Denver. Here are our sponsors. Let's see, People, Maker, Founder, Commons, Office Space, Madison Taylor. They're specifically for this particular track. Some more, thank you so much. We really couldn't do this without them. And this is, I mean, as you know, there's like hundreds of sessions people can go to, all free for you, because it's in our best interest as people in the world that you succeed. So remember that. Everybody benefits when you make money. Okay, so in this workshop, you will understand your current relationship to money, recognize and release blocks to money, discover pathways of abundance coming into your life, step into the flow of money and abundance, determine ways to co-create with money, and learn about ways to finance your business. The energy of money is the underlying dynamics, attitudes, beliefs, and emotions that surround the concept and the flow of money. So when we talk about money, we can look at it in many different levels. We've got this paper product that actually means nothing. And we essentially are using it as a tool to exchange with other people. So it's an energy exchange is what it is. And so when we discover and we look inside ourselves for our relationship, what we might see is dollar bills, and we might see some kind of colored energy that represents money. So whatever shows up for you is the right thing that you're supposed to see at that time. Money carries an energetic charge that can impact our thoughts, behaviors, and overall relationship to wealth. It encompasses aspects such as abundance, scarcity, empowerment, fear, and gratitude. Some people view money as a source of freedom, opportunity, and empowerment, while others perceive it as a potential source of stress, greed, and inequity or inequality. Okay, so let me just take this off real quick. So I'm very excited about this. Okay, so make sure, this is about you. So I want you to make sure you have something to write with when we're done. Because just like a dream, if you wake up and you remember it, if you don't write it down, you're going to forget it. This is sort of like that. Turn the sound off on your phone because we don't want to have any interruptions. We will be pausing throughout this visualization exercise so that you can take in what your imagination is bringing forth. So if I just keep talking while you're in this space, you won't have time to register what it is you're seeing in your imagination. Everyone's imagination brings forth images and ideas and sensations and knowingness. And you're going to all experience something. You might also experience nothing. And that's important too, because some of us have like a hands-off, I don't want to know about it idea to money, right? Some of us are like, oh my God, I can't deal with this, and don't even care about it or think about it or whatever, even though that's probably not going to happen. Okay, we will be using our right brain and our imagination to bring up images, and then we will use our left brain to describe those images and get more information. So this is a really good brain challenge that integrates both sides of your brain to deliver information to you today that we're specifically looking for because you showed up wondering about your relationship to money. Okay, anybody have any questions about anything so far? All right. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, settling into your space. Imagine that you are the only one in this room. You are here to discover your personal relationship to money and are the only one that matters in this space right now. No one is watching you. Sink into your chair. Now, bring your awareness to the core of your being. Might be your heart, might be your gut, or someplace else. Your analytical mind steps aside for a moment, allowing your imagination to do the communicating through images, feelings, sensations, and knowingness. Now imagine you are on a stage, like a theater stage with curtains to the side, beautiful hardwood floors beneath your feet, bright lights directed on the stage where you are. You might be sitting in a chair or standing there waiting patiently, trusting. You can also observe yourself on that stage if you're watching from, as though you're watching from the audience, if that feels better. You're the only one there. Now, money or the energy of money joins you on the stage. Notice what's happening. No need to edit or think too much about it, just notice. Whatever's coming up is perfect, and we're going to watch this for 1 minute before I move you forward. What does the energy of money look like? What color is it? Is it showing up as an object or just energy? Notice, how are you relating to money? How are you feeling about this interaction? Notice where that feeling is in your body. Do you notice any energetic blocks to money in your body? If so, where are they in the body? If it's in your best interest, allow your body to release the blocks easily and effortlessly in whatever way feels right. You might notice that they disappear now that you're aware of them, or you might want to do something about it. Continue to watch what happens between you and money. We will be in this space for another minute or so, and I will let you know when we're done. Now, come back into the room, take a deep breath, open your eyes, and write down what you saw or what you experienced. Who wants to share? Who had an experience that you want to share about? Oh, Flora, yeah.
What I experienced through your guidance was almost like a money counting machine spitting out $100 bill on my side, fast and a lot of them, from a bulk of $100 bills. Like right here to my left arm, and I felt some warmth. At the same time, I started feeling pain on my left hemisphere of the brain. And when you said to release that blockage is what I thought it was, so I took deep breaths to unblock it. And then I thought, why is it on my side? I feel that I am abundant and that money is producing as I sleep on my behalf. But then I thought, I'm not opening my arms to get it or something. So then I thought I need to touch it. So then when I took the deep breaths, it was in front of me, more accessible.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it was hard bills, like they were making noise for me, like $100 bills.
That is so cool, because we had a conversation yesterday about how she has been so successful at her business. Like real estate investing, she's been really successful. So it makes me think, I would assume that your relationship is good, but you still felt like you had a block. Whoa, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody have a really strange experience with money? Like, you know you're not really good with it. How did it show up? Oh, okay. You, and then I'll go with you. Okay.
How's it going? I'm Hunter. So when I envisioned it, when I was on the stage and you said to see money come in, I saw like a dark storm cloud, very dark energy, very like controlling almost. And then when you said to release that energy that's blocking it, it became very like neutral. Definitely not positive, but became very not controlling anymore, dark, but just kind of just normal clouds instead of like the storm clouds.
Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you. Has anyone here played the video game 7 Days to Die? So for me, money is like a zombie dog. But I'm not the kind of person to just sit there and get eaten alive. So it's something that I have to shackle and put on a leash, and I'll put it up on stage and teach it to do tricks, but I can't let go of that leash or that little thing is going to eat me alive.
Okay, so I envisioned a garden, and I had flowers glowing in it, and the money is like sun, or I don't exactly quite get the symbolism of it, but like if you had a rose that's wilting, you need to give it a little bit more food, which it could be sun or it could be something green or whatever, but that would be like money. So money can go in and out. It doesn't have to stay stuck.
Wow. Every one of you, well, who didn't have any experience at all? Completely blank, no experience. Oh God, thank goodness. Okay, thank goodness, because this is so, I mean, it's like a thing. This is how you discover your answers. When you go inside and you allow your imagination to bring up something, it does. That's what's so cool. You know, they talk about meditation, they talk about all these different exercises, but you know what? We're just using our imagination, which we use all the time, especially as entrepreneurs. We are here as creators, and that's our mechanism with which to create. So where does our relationship to money come from? What do you guys think? Parents? Oh, yeah. How do parents influence your money relationship?
My dad was always really upset about it.
So it's something to be upset about. Yeah, exactly. How many got allowance when they were younger? Was it a good idea? Were your parents consistent? Oh, yeah. Okay, I was the worst allowance giver. By the time I realized, oh, it's time for allowance, I owed them like hundreds of dollars because I forgot to do it and we didn't have a good plan. Like, it's ridiculous. What about religion? Does anybody feel like religion might be a thing? Yeah, like money lending used to be illegal or something, according to the Bible. I don't know. Guilt, unworthiness. Like, religion is there to remind us sometimes of our unworthiness. Like, I grew up Catholic, so I still love the whole idea of it, but I grew up feeling guilty about pretty much everything. And I feel like the same thing, unworthy, guilty, and money is something I didn't need to have or shouldn't take part in. Oh, so here's a good time. So when I did this exercise, I saw myself on a stage like this. So at that point, I had a business. I had a yoga clothing business, and it was inventory-based, which means I had to have probably 10 times as much inventory on hand compared to what I was going to sell at all times. So I had like $75,000 worth of inventory in my space at all times, which meant I didn't have any money ever because it was all going into more and more inventory. So here I am sitting on a stage, just going, I'm good. I don't need money. No, I'm good. So money's coming in. I'm like, no thanks. I got everything I need. I'm good. Because I was taught to feel grateful for having what I have, not wanting anything more. Well, that wasn't helpful. So for me to see that relationship, I discovered that has got to change because it's not going to help me. I'm not going to be able to succeed in this world as an entrepreneur, as an inventory-based business, with that relationship. That might have been noble, but it didn't work. Okay, so education, we learn our money relationship through education, experience. Some of it comes through our DNA. It's like DNA memory. It comes from our culture. Depends on what culture is there a culture out there, a race, a nationality, a group of people we assume are good with money? Every one of them. Do we make that assumption? Isn't that crazy? And you think, okay, who's that person? They're good with money. So it is cultural sometimes too. Okay. What's that? No, because we're going to do another exercise. Okay, we've got 3 of these. They're short, right? They're short and not scary. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes again and take some deep breaths. This time, bring the breath into your heart. whatever that means for you. Just like think of your heart as you're breathing in. Imagine the air filling up your heart and the space around your heart, making room. Bring your awareness into the core of your being again, and see yourself on that stage once again. I'm going to say, open yourself up to abundance. Receive abundance. And abundance comes onto the stage. And notice what's happening. Is it the same or different from money? Is money there too? Are there multiple ways abundance is showing up? Notice all the ways it shows up. We're going to watch this for a minute and I'll bring you back when we're done. Notice all the ways abundance can come to you. Allow that abundance to flow through your body and interact with you in any way it wants to. Notice how it feels in your body to receive abundance. Notice where it's coming and how you feel. Now, come back into the room, take a deep breath and open your eyes and write down all the pathways that abundance came to you. Okay, who wants to share this experience? What did you get? Oh, good.
For me, I think it was two visualizations that came for me was a big, strong flowing river. So just think like in Colorado, we have droughts some years. Think of like a massive rainfall and just that river that just never stops. And then in the middle of that, or surrounding that river was an evergreen forest like you would see in like Seattle or the Pacific Northwest.
All right, who else?
For me, I think it was, using the stage metaphor, the darkened theater with the lights on the stage on me. And when money came in, it was just kind of this calm confidence, like, okay, now I'm not up here by myself, so, what can we do together? When it was abundance, what came to me was the house lights came up, which allowed me now to see, where I was and give me a better kind of big picture context of what was happening around me.
That is so cool. That's so cool. It's like an awareness of all this that is giving you energy. Wow, I love that. Okay, who over here wants to share? Ooh, excellent.
So 3 words came to me in this order: positivity, possibility, and profitability.
Thank you. That's a good one. Woo! All right, one more. Okay, Flora.
For me, abundance came in the image, I guess, of nature. My hometown, where is a dam, una presa, and nature, and a little hill, not mountain, but hill. And then an image of a lot of people who were happily smiling and peaceful. Also, spiritual, like almost seeing the sky and God, or an angel, some kind of image. And then my image started color blue and it turned to purple.
Thank you so much. Isn't it amazing? Everybody has such a different experience because these are your answers, and this is what matters. We all have our job to do here, so it's amazing to see the uniqueness of what's coming up for people. Okay, so, I always think about there's this idea, kind of an old idea of if you succeed, someone has to fail because there needs to be a balance. I mean, is that a weird idea? It's kind of a weird idea. The truth is, it's not true at all. Like, I would say the universe needs you to succeed. First, if you succeed, it's better for your overall well-being. It's your ability to do and have what you want, and that's important. And if you're happy, your family's happy. Your parents are going to be like, phew, he's making money, because they're probably afraid of what you're doing. You're an entrepreneur, they're like, oh my God, oh no. Okay, so friends and family, you enjoy time with them, give and share, provide for loved ones. When you have money, you generally share it with those you love, which is amazing and good and important. The community, if you succeed, you provide a product or service which other people need. You buy other people's product that you need for your own business. You create jobs. You provide, people work together. It's like super important. For a city, you pay taxes. There's safety when businesses are occupied. In Denver, it's probably hard to find places to have a business. That's really common in areas like this. But in like small town America, there are so many businesses that are out of business, and it's not necessarily safe for those businesses to be empty. So when you are thriving or in business, you have a space, you expand into a space, you help kind of revitalize communities, and that benefits everyone, because a lot of businesses build community by themselves. Okay, state and federal government pay taxes. Everybody benefits when you make money. This is why there's so much money spent to help people. So there's a lot of help, and a lot of it is actually free, like this whole Denver Startup Week. Thank goodness, because it is in all of our best interests for you to succeed. Okay, and I say the universe benefits because we send out good energy and thoughts to the world, and when we do that, good things happen. Okay, so building a healthy mindset. attracts more money, gives you opportunities in life, has a different feeling in your body, provides a feeling of possibilities, enables your nervous system to relax instead of being in fight or flight, helps you operate from a place that is regenerative and expansive, allows you to feel a sense of peace and optimism, puts you in the flow of money and abundance, brings about the feeling of being okay with who you are and what you do, and is a state of enoughness. So that is like a healthy mindset. But how do you develop a healthy mindset? Like, we know what that looks like, but how do we do it? Okay, we do it exactly the way we just have been doing it. Going into ourself and understanding what's our relationship. Where are the blocks? Like if you did this again and said, I need to know more about the blocks, like what's that about? Half of the time we don't need to know why they're there or what they are. Just seeing them and being aware helps it go away. Like it just goes away like that. It's amazing. And then you might think, gosh, what was that block to money? Does it matter? If it's gone, it doesn't matter. You'll start seeing yourself behaving differently, and that's what matters. Okay, the last visualization exercise. Okay, here we go. Thank you again for participating in this. I just appreciate you so much. So let's close our eyes one more time and sink down in the center of our being, taking a few deep breaths. This is the last time we will do this. Imagine yourself back on the well-lit stage with money and abundance in all the ways it showed up for you. Allow this energy of money and abundance to demonstrate what the perfect relationship to them would be. What are they doing? What are you doing? Just trust, notice, watch. Feel. We are all creative beings. Allow your imagination to show you, as co-creators, what you are here to create. As a team working harmoniously together, what are you, money and abundance, creating? I'm going to leave you here for a few minutes. Watch what happens. What are you able to do or create with money and abundance? Now bring your awareness back into our shared space. Take a deep breath, open your eyes, and write down what you saw. So what did you co-create? Who wants to share?
So at first, I just saw me sharing my wealth with like my family and friends, and then when I thought about what it was my like purpose to co-create with abundance and money, I want to start a functional mushroom company. So I saw myself then handing out mushrooms to my loved ones in the community, and I think that just connects to my desire to go help people on a spiritual, mental level. And then I'm in the Masters of Public Policy program at CU Denver, and I think me sharing wealth connects to my desire to help people's material conditions.
Thank you. Who else wants to share? I want to hear a bunch of these. Oh, yay.
I saw people being able to connect and enjoy each other's company and relax and rest. So it's to some extent. So I do consulting with nonprofits and foundations. So I think in some ways that could connect. But it was like less of people just like, being in a frenzy and doing, but people just being able to kind of enjoy the moment, enjoy each other, enjoy connecting with other people, and being able to rest.
Thank you. All right, who else? Oh, good.
So I'm Angie. I have a startup business called Prairie Mama. I have my own business for loan processing I've had for 22 years. But Prairie Mama has a special mission for me, and similar to your mushroom idea, but taking the herbs that I am learning to grow, I have been growing this last year, and the photography that I really love. I love taking special photos, and then putting the knowledge together with the teas that go with it, so that people can learn how to use it to heal themselves and heal others. But similar to what the lady said over there, where you have a space, like it's a safe space, it's a healing space where other people can come and learn and teach about what they know about the plants, as well as like a community type of sharing environment. And no, not people aren't poor from that. Like you're sharing a type of wealth.
Wow, that's fantastic. One more. Who else wants to share? Someone's gonna. Thank you.
So for me, I envisioned again the stage with money and abundance, kind of amorphous, I guess, next to me, one on either side of me. And again, it was that confidence from money, and then the abundance was kind of showing me the possibility with the house lights up, if you will. But then they were looking to me then to, okay, now what are we going to do? And so we walked forward kind of off the stage, but instead of falling, we kind of walked above through the air. And there was that brief moment of this isn't possible, but then immediately it was like, but it is, because I'm doing it. And so it was this kind of this weird, like, this shouldn't be happening, but it is happening, I guess.
What kind of business are you doing?
I'm looking to do kind of an education training for electric vehicles and working with STEM students and whatnot.
Wow, you guys, that's so cool. You can do this. Like, you can do this on any time you want to figure out something. You can just shut your eyes, bring yourself to the core of your being, allow your imagination to bring something up. Ask the question to see what comes up. Because the longer you sit there, the more likely great things are going to come up. You can do this with an issue. You've got like a customer service issue, and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? You can use this kind of technique to figure that out, because you will come up with really good answers. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about that whole process? Because we're going to move on to the less interesting things. Yeah. That's a great question. What happens when you have a block? Well, when you see it, more than likely, just the awareness helps get rid of it. So, when I was standing there and I'm like, no, I don't need money. At that point, it was completely over, because I was like, yeah, that's dumb. And awareness always helps us move forward. So that's one thing. But you can also, in your imagination, actively get rid of it. So let's say you've got like this big chunk in your head. You can see yourself. Actually, what's interesting is to say, show me what this is. Give me an object so I can understand what this is. And it might bring up something. Like, it might bring up a piece of like glass apple. And then you can take it and just crush it. So if you feel like you need to do something to it, you can. But just the awareness will get rid of it. And if you say to yourself, I release that, that helps also. But yeah, actively doing something about it's kind of fun, because you're like, yeah, that's stupid. I have to do that. That's mostly what I do. I like yank it out of my head and send it up to source for recycling, is what I call it. Because, it made, whatever that block is, it made me who I am today. And so these things that have happened to us might seem terrible or bad or whatever, negative, but they've led us to be the person we are and to have the understandings that we do have. So there's something important about them. It doesn't mean they serve us any longer. So, yeah, take it out. And if for some reason it was supposed to be there, something else will come up and put it right back in. But I've never heard of that happening. Okay, that's a great question, though. Anybody else have a question about that? Yeah.
I'm taking a training called mental application, and the strategy that they teach us is to, if it's a thought, or in the case of the blockage, what is the solution? So put in place it's a solution or a thought that is positive, for lack of a better word. If it's something negative, change it to a positive thought or the solution that you want.
The real solution in real life.
Yeah.
I like that. Right? Because we mostly know. We mostly know the solutions. Okay, so, one of the things I'm really passionate about finance, and it only is that way because I was kind of forced to learn. So, I started my business, and my sister is a small business accountant. So, of course, she was going to do my books. So I set up QuickBooks online so that she would have access, and I was all ready. And, I get along really well with my sister. And she said, I'm not doing your books. You have to learn how to do your books. And I'm like, oh my God. I hate numbers. I don't know numbers. I've never done this. I don't know accounting. I hated accounting. I took accounting, and I still didn't do it right. Honestly, in QuickBooks, I still don't do it right. I post something that I have to go to see if it really showed up as a debit or a credit, and every time it's wrong. For some reason, I don't know why I get this wrong. It's dyslexia in some number way, I'm sure. I'm not good at it. And so it was a struggle for me to figure it out. And that struggle is what leads us to feel good about ourselves and appreciate the information. So the idea is to shift from financial avoidance to awareness. And awareness is just kind of an activator of, I'm open to more information. Knowing our numbers gives us power and confidence. At MSU Denver, we have business plan competitions, like a business pitch competition. And this girl who had a really cool business selling syrup, like super impressive business. Like they were doing tons of business, trying to find a co-packer because they were so successful. And the judges said, how much does it cost you to make it per jar, and how much do you sell it for? And she didn't know. She didn't know. And she's like, well, my husband takes care of all that, which is great, but it's probably not the best idea. Like, you need to know, especially if you're gonna pitch, you really need to know that. So this is what you need to know. How much we have, how much we spend, how much we save. That's just in life, right? We need to know that. Where our money's coming and where it's going. Super simple. We all need to know that. What we do need to know when we're formulating a business plan or setting out to get somewhere and be big, or actually be sustainable, which means we make a profit, we need to know how much product or service we have to sell to make our ends meet or to achieve a goal. Because we can do things that are sustainable all day. Like I want to have a sustainable business. Great. But if you can't sustain your own cash flow existence, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're not going to stay in business. So while we don't necessarily focus only on profit, we want to focus on the planet and the people, we have to have a profit. At some point, we have to do that. So we've got to figure out, what does that look like? So how you put the GPS in your phone, and it gives you step-by-step instructions on where to go or how to get there? This is what we do when we answer the question, how much product or service do we need to sell in order to make this make sense? Including how much we need to make for our livelihood. When we know that number, we have to sell $10,000 worth, $20,000 worth. And then you break it down by, how much per week, like $10,000 a month. Then you break it down into a day, you say, oh, that's doable. Or there's no way I'm gonna sell that much stuff. So then you have to rethink. So this piece is so empowering when you come up with what that number is, because you know where you're going. You have a target. So important. Let go of blame. No matter what led you to the relationship you have already, just let go of it. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. In fact, yay for the ingredients that make up who you are. Shift from fear to trust. Trust that the abundance will flow, because the universe needs you to make money, needs you to succeed, actually. Have financial advisors, that's a really good idea. Do financial projections using a spreadsheet package. So the SBDC has a forecasting package that is free. It's like a open source forecasting package. And it is tedious and fantastic to work through, because it helps you understand where your money's coming from, where it's going. You can do a better job of creating those financial forecasts if you use industry averages and cost structure benchmarks that help you understand, based on your industry, how much profit you should make, how much you should spend on wages, what your cost of goods sold should be, how much you should spend on marketing, utilities, these kind of things. That's available to you. So instead of throwing numbers up and just guessing, you actually have this foundational information that is available through the library. At MSU Denver, we have access to it. Almost any university does. You could just go to one of those libraries and they'd give you that information. That is a really cool thing to do and very empowering. Okay, I've got about 10 minutes left. So I want to just kind of run through really quickly the ways you finance business. Okay, so first you start with your own money, savings, inheritance, probably money from another job. You might borrow against your 401k. I wouldn't really recommend that, but some people do that. Yeah, I've heard of it. You want to start with your own money, because this is your thing, and if you're not willing to put in money, don't expect anybody else to. Plus, when you go to a bank, they expect you to have invested anywhere from 10 to 25% of of the money already. So, if you're asking for 100,000, they would expect you to have actually invested already your own money about 25,000, 20 or 25. Everybody will tell you a different number. Just know that you're going to have equity investment already before a bank's going to give you money. Bootstrapping is do whatever you can to save and keep the money that you have. Let's say you actually do have money to start your business. Do whatever you can not to spend it, because you need to be really smart about it. The more money you have, the faster you spend it. I got a credit line on my house, like $150,000. And we were like, whoa, we've got money. We spent and bought all this inventory and did all these things, which wasn't a good idea. So and when I mean, I don't mean to be stingy or thrifty or any of those negative words that are related to money. Be smart. Be smart with it, because that's going to matter. Okay, cash flow from selling product or service. So one of the most important things when you're starting a business is figure out a way you can make money as soon as possible. If you're going to start a restaurant, could you start by catering? Could you start by doing private dinners for people? Could you start by setting up a farmer's market? Is there a way you can just bring money in? So my clothing company, I sold to wholesalers primarily, and then we decided we needed money. We couldn't wait for that to develop because it was taking too long. So we went to markets. We went to yoga events and started selling there. So we brought money in and we had cash flow, and then we could take that money and spend it on other things. So that's your revenue is actually funding your business, which is that's the best case scenario. Plus, you're also getting feedback from your product. You're getting feedback. It is really important. Okay, friends and family, great, but be careful getting them involved if it's not something you're sure that's going to happen. I'm so glad I didn't borrow money from my family, because that would have made me feel sick. It would have changed my relationship to those people, because it was risky. Clothing's risky. Some things are not risky and are absolute, for sure, potential perfect things. What would that be? Real estate, maybe? House flipping? All of those have some risk to them, so who knows? I'd be careful there. Okay, credit cards, of course. We don't want to use them, but we do. Bank loans, credit lines. Most of the time, people get a credit line based on their house, and that is a very smart way of doing it. It's a fairly inexpensive way to finance your business. Then we have angel investors, which are a pre-seed thing. Venture capital is available once you've gotten to the point where you have, a couple of years of proven track record of making money. So I want you to know that equity funding really only happens for 2% of the businesses out there. 2%. So if you're thinking, I need money, I need investors, really be careful. Because if you have a business that serves a purpose and you have a really specific vision about how you're going to help people, investors who own part of the business will change that for you. And so if venture capitalists want 10 times their investment, and if that's the case and you're trying to figure that out, you may indeed lose track of who you're here to serve and what you're doing. So you have to be careful. I've got a guy that's a really good friend of mine that is he's going into small communities and creating solar fields so that the cost of energy is going to be so low for those people, reduce their cost by 40%. It's an amazing thing that he's doing. And he needs money. And people have been wanting to give him money. And he's like, no, because it has to be the right person. If the wrong energy comes into the room, they're going to want money. And his point is saving people money, not generating money for shareholders. That's not his job. That's not what he wants to do. So he has to find investors that are willing to say, okay, maybe this isn't going to be a 10-time return. Maybe this is going to be kind of a shared profit among people. So it's a different way of thinking, and we need people that support that different way of thinking. Okay, well, I hope that you came here and got something out of it and didn't come here to actually get details about how to invest or how to get money. Hey, I do want to say, though, MSU Denver has a really unique program. Okay, it's for staff, faculty, alumni, students, and anybody that goes through what we call our Launch Denver program. Launch Denver is like 11-week kind of business startup workshop that anybody can take. It doesn't cost anything. And if you go through it, you qualify for this small business development loan that MSU is doing in conjunction with Prairie Rose Investment or something like that. Anyway, there are a couple people involved in this. And it's $5,000 to $50,000 loan at an 8% interest. Right now, that's pretty good. And it's a character-based loan. And so you know how it's hard to get a loan if you don't have 2 years worth of track record. They consider other things. Thank you. They consider other aspects. They look at your whole plan. They talk to you about what your repayment plan's going to be. So it's actually quite a dynamic program that we have through MSU Denver. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, I've got the card of the person you'd want to talk to. And if you want more information about Launch Denver and you're interested in participating in that, I can give you that information. And does anybody have any questions? I think we have just a minute or so left. Thank you for sharing. I totally appreciate you being here and trusting that you're okay shutting your eyes, because that is kind of an uncomfortable situation. Thank you.